So, you found someone, or at least you think you have. You've been out in these dating streets and you got somebody in your life and you're wondering if they're the person who you should be spending time with. Yeah, right now she seems kind of cool, but I don't know, man. Now, we've talked in other videos on this channel about how to gauge a person to see who they are, but we've rarely talked about when you're in these beginning stages, how to even identify them off the bat. This person, if they are someone who's worth you spending your time on. Yeah, because I'm really looking for a long-term relationship. I'm really about that life. So how do I know if she's about that life? She says she's about that life, but how do I know she's really about that life? You know what I'm saying? Is she really about it? How do I know about the things that she's about to find out if she should be in my life? You know what I mean? I know. I get it. It's confusing. You don't know if she's the right one. You don't know what kind of person she is. You don't know what to do, but you did do the right thing. You came to class. Balance of power. I got you covered with today's lesson. You will know them by their fruit. Let's get it in. Now, knowing someone by their fruit, it's a Bible reference. Basically, it means that if you want to know who a person is, you see the things that they do in life. Their actions are going to tell you who they are. And right now, we're going to talk about how to find out what kind of fruit this person bears. Specifically, in the realm of how they treat other people. Now, there are many ways to ascertain a person's character, especially if you had more time. But right now, we're talking about you just met this person, they're new, it's all new and shiny and whatever. So we need to do this in a way that's going to be more tangible, something that you can see in front of you. And by the way, this is not something you've probably heard anywhere else other than Balance of Power, because this is not this, oh, you can find out how good a person is if you watch how they treat a waiter, if you watch how they treat customer service people. That's not what we're going to be talking about. In fact, we're probably going to be talking about the opposite of that. So make sure you watch till the end if you really want to find out if they bout that life. So specifically, breaking it down, you want to know if the person you're with is a good person. And if that's not something you want to know, why are you with them? What the hell are you doing? Now, the thing I'm about to tell you about is not necessarily saying that they're a bad person. They just might not be a good person for you to be in a relationship with in this moment. Let's proceed. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be gauging this person on how they treat not the people that they don't know necessarily, but how well they treat the people that they do know. Oftentimes, humans treat people who are the furthest away from them better than they treat the people who are the closest to them. And that is not what you want. You don't want someone who's got their life mismatched. Now, why is it mismatched? Because nearly every single person, when you ask them what's the most important thing to you outside of religion, what's the most important thing, they will all say the same thing. Family, friends. They'll mention the two F's. Family, friends. Family and friends, not just family friends, but you know what I'm saying. The point is, they will mention those people who they have inside world relationships with. Inside world meaning most of the time they spend with these people is inside the four walls of a home. Not outside world relationships with outside world. That's people who you are outside of your home dealing with them. Like people at work, people out in the city, just random folks. This is going to be a little difficult for you all because I said many people do it. That's including you. We actually did a video about it right here where I talk about how you can eliminate that problem in your own life. You need to first make sure you're not doing the very thing that I'm teaching you that another person shouldn't do. So watch that video. It's good stuff and it gives you a basis for what I'm talking about here. So we're not going to go very deep into that, but I am going to tell you the realms of life and what you need to be looking for. People's relationship is kind of like a bullseye. So people's relationships are in each of the rings of the bullseye. The outermost ring is the situations and people that are the furthest away from that human. So the outer ring has stuff like society and the world at large. The next ring after that has work life and the people that you work with. The next ring after that would be your friends. The ring after that would be your family. And the ring in the center would be you and your immediate family if you had them. Meaning you and your spouse and your children would all be in that center ring. So you can see how the further out you get, it's less points. If you've ever done archery or anything like that, anybody knows you want to get into the bullseye. You want to get that red dot. The highest points, the highest thing that you can get. You want to get dead in the center. That's where the goal is. And that's what everybody and their mama say. Oh, family is the most important thing. They say that. But how do they treat people? And this is what you're going to be paying attention to. So you're really going to be watching for differences. You're going to be watching between how they treat the people at work, a ring that's supposed to be less points, less important, versus how they treat their family, like their sister, their brother, their mama, their daddy. This ring that's supposed to be closer to them, do they actually treat them better? Do they actually have better manners when they're talking to their parents, or are they more flippant and less caring? Are they actually listening to their boss and making sure they show up on time, but when it comes to their niece or their nephew's thing, they don't care if they show up to the birthday party at all. They might be late all the time. Now, lateness is something that's going to be difficult because it's not like you're going to get fired from your family or your friend group if you're late to a party. So lateness, you can kind of let it go on. But for the most part, what you're doing is you want to see, how do they treat their family? How do they treat their friends? And do they treat their family and friends less than or better than the people and places and things that are on outer rungs? Do they treat the world at large, if they met a cop or a politician or just somebody random in the street, are they polite? Hi, everybody. Are they Ned Flanders to a stranger? And then are they Medusa to their sister or their best friend? And this is really what you want to focus on. Again, I know you might have heard the whole, oh, how they treat people when they don't have to treat them well. The world has caught on to that. Not only has the internet and the proliferation of videos like this, I mean, ain't no video like this. We drop gold bars of knowledge and real actual facts on y'all. But you know what I'm saying. There's things in places where people teach you how to be better, and some people just know how to fake it. They know that, oh, I'm on a first date, I'm on a second date, I gotta treat the waiter really well. But when they're talking to their mom on the phone, are they rude? Are they happy? Are they good? Are they bad? Like, how are they? But again, you really want to see the difference between how they treat their mom, how they treat their friend, how they treat their kid if they have a kid, or their spouse if they have a spouse. I mean, hopefully they don't have a spouse if you're trying to get with them. But how they treat you if you are their spouse. Let's say you're not in the early stages of dating. You might still need to think about this. How are you being treated in your relationship? Does your wife treat you less than she treats her friends? Is she better with treating her friends in a nice, kind way? And yeah, we get it. I already know. I've heard it a million times about how, oh, it's easy because those who love you forgive you. But that's the problem. That is the problem with many folks right now, is that they think that love means I can just do anything I want to you and nothing's going to happen to me. That is how and why relationships fall all the way apart. And if you see that from the beginning, let alone if you're in it now, but if you see that from the beginning, that the people who are closest to them get the least of them, they get the least amount of forgiveness, they get the least amount of care and love and grace and patience and energy and money and smiles, small things that should be simple. If the people closest to that person, especially if they say it's important, especially if they're like, oh, my friends are the most important thing to me, I love my friend group, but then 2 days later you hear her gossiping about her best friend to you. I thought she was important. What happened? How do they treat and manage the things and people that are supposed to be the most important? So this is a mad oversimplification. This can be really deep as far as a video, but I just wanted a little quick something to let y'all know what you should be looking for when you first get with somebody. Are they polite, not just to the waiters and the people outside, but when you start seeing how they treat the people closest to them, just know eventually that center bullseye is going to be you. So if they're missing targets and they're aiming at the outer rungs, yeah, they need some archery lessons, and maybe you shouldn't spend time on them. Maybe, just maybe. Because the pandemic should have taught many people this lesson, and you should have known this even before the pandemic, but the fact is, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We don't have much time on this earth. Do you really have time to be burning time on someone who's not going to give you the time of day because they gave it to someone else who shouldn't have been worth their time? Now that's today's lesson. Now, if you found value in this video, and I know you did, go ahead and punch that subscribe button, throw thumbs, do what you're supposed to do. And if you're really good and you want to just help out the channel, which you should, let everybody know about this. Slide this video to someone who needs to hear this message. I know you love these videos. Where else you gonna hear gold bars of knowledge dropped on you on the regular? Nowhere. And that's exactly where you're going.
Where you going? Nowhere.
So come on back, click on another video, get some more learning in. But until next time, no. Deuce deuce.